Good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you are. And let's roll the outro. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to BeoTalk number
379.
Yeah. YouTube changed the backend, so it doesn't show everything anymore.
Oh, I got your backend, bro. Here, 379. I see it in the title.
Yeah, I mean, the analytics is now so enormous, like it doesn't even show it. It's just this enormous tab for no apparent reason, right? When it can just be a bar graph that size.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Good old YouTube.
That's it.
Messing with things. How have you been?
Not bad. Busy and stuff and whatever. Finally, we got the proper power supply for that screen.
Oh, yeah. So that's almost there. That's nice.
Yeah, but there's a fucking feels bad, bro. The box that the power supply is, in order to fit it inside, there's a frame that magnetically holds the backboards, so it looks nice. That box is 3 mils too thick to pass through.
Ooh.
So I have to now, when we get the projector, there needs to be 2 bodies again. I have to take off the screen.
Yeah.
That whole mechanism, lift it, at least on one side, put that box in, put it back, screw it all back in place, and then put the projector on. So
Jolly.
I'm just worried and wondering if it's going to run smoothly through the Beo Sound core, because that's all he's got, and I think they should get a Beo Connect core for it. That's my thinking.
One would hope so, yes. I mean, it's at that point a minimal investment.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah, it's 100 inches. Feels pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, let's do some shilling before we get into this detail.
Go buy your stuff at Skinny Play. Use the promo code for 10% off. That's the only thing that's the same every week is shilling.
That's it.
Get your custom cover. Get a horsey, a different horsey. It's the year of the horse or something. I don't know what's going on,
I
but
guess
we have
so.
horsies. I mean, if you're late for your missus, get some hearts. Might still
Oh yeah, happy belated Valentinos yesterday.
Go to our friends at Tigrino Studio. They make all sorts of aluminium and covers and things. Buy some aluminium covers for your 28s. Make them look actually pretty.
Or spectacular at that point.
Yeah.
I guess they're pretty old. They are. But they're spectacular with that.
I mean, their aluminium is really is top notch. It matches B&O's.
Mm-hmm.
We have that. Buy Willie a coffee so he doesn't fall asleep on us. Maybe if you buy him enough coffees, you can buy a more comfortable chair that's in between where he sits on now and his Eames chair, so he doesn't fall asleep, but also is a bit more comfortable.
That chair is in the office actually, but office is kind of boring. It's just Lego in there. Well, there is a V1, I guess, for the background, but I prefer this background more.
The Buy Me a Coffee link is our super chat and or donations. I'll be monitoring it. If you have a topic and or question, feel free to put it in and we'll go over that. And we have our friend Steve at soundsheavenly.com. If you're in Europe or the UK and have some cable needs, Steve's the guy. No promo code, but the cables will literally last for bloody ever. I mean, they'll probably last as long as your speakers do, unless you have, I don't know, rodents or something like that.
Even then, depends on I don't think that the material that he chooses are a taste to rodents.
Yeah,
I know. B&O used to have cables that the mice used to love to chew up the jacket off, which was the MCL wire. But things have changed. But his cables are the good quality.
Yeah, another thing is in comparison to B&O's cables, right, which are kind of generic, these are all tested. So
B&O cables
there's a very, very low % chance that something happens in shipping because it's a cable, but otherwise it leaves tested and it's good. Whereas B&O, it's sort of sometimes a bit of a crapshoot.
Oh, they changed it now because back in the day, I don't know if you remember the micro RJ45 connectors for the power links.
Yes,
those were terrible. That was like BeoLab 12 times era type of thing when they introduced that, and those were they worked good, but if they didn't, that was a disaster, man, because it was always buzzing and it didn't do the proper pin contact right on all of it. And
those micro ones only had 3 or 4 wires inside them connected.
4. They had 4 cables. Yeah. Plus the shield to ground it,
which doesn't work for 50s or 5s or
no 5s, no nothing, no pentas, no 5000s, no 3000s with the displays. None of that would work. But they were just basically dumb lab 3, 4s, 8000s, right? Lab 1s, anything that didn't really need data communication. But I found that I've had a lot of issues with them, especially the pre-made B&O ones. That those ends were just terrible. I remember zip tying the fucking ends into the back of or around the BeoLab receiver ones, just so they hold, right?
Yeah.
To clamp it. But that's a jerry rig everything. I don't like doing that. And then at some point it becomes loose in something, and it's just those were not good cables from B&O.
No, B&O had a time where speakers were great, but you better buy your cables elsewhere.
No, they had a pretty big fault rate from those times that I remember back in the day. But even the projector that I put in, it's with a core and a BeoSound or BeoLab 3s and a BeoLab 11, right? Because guy likes his David Lewis era of B&O.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So I ran the cable and I thought it was the thin one that I've put in, but I'm like, no, from what I remember, I put in the 8 pin to the sub. Yeah. but I reused the cables that came with the eBay purchase. The fucking Mark ones, man. So I turn it all on in both lap threes. I'm like, you gotta be joking. So I swapped those when I was doing the power box, and now it's all, because like it's either the chassis, but I'm like, there's no way that the odds are that both speakers will chassis would just give up all of a sudden. When we tested them, I think 2-3 months ago, I tested them in the shop. I turned them on, so like there's no way. Yeah, it was the fucking cables, man.
I mean, one maybe, but two, no.
No, not right out the same symptoms as well. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you know B&O, you probably know the bzz, bzz, bzz.
Oh, the data bleed. Yeah, fudge.
God, it happens on everything.
I remember when I was learning how to do those Cat 6 or Cat 7 wires, right? Because B&O is very special about theirs. The striped colored wire is just white, right, out of the pair. So you have 4 white cables if you're not paying attention.
Oh God!
Because the logic behind that is that they're essentially each twisted pair is shielded, right? So you cut around with the tool and you take off the shield, and then you have 4 of those ding dongs with 2 cables. One is, let's say, green and white, which is white green on the other side, right? But you got to be careful to don't mix them up. And I remember it was a pain back in the day. It doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, B&O wire, bro. Speaking of that,
yeah, it's always an issue.
That's it. But yeah, I found a video on YouTube regarding those BeoSound or BeoLab Haven or Heaven speakers.
Mm-hmm.
It was some sort of a CES or European show of some sorts. I don't know if you find the video, but it's on YouTube. And I don't know, man. The lady could have been prettier, first of all, and second of all, I think that they should have people that are a little more passionate about the product, not just like brutally memorized script that they talk about, right? Because I noticed that when he interrupted her a few times, she could not resume where she was going, right? Like, if you know, you can just divert and talk about something else. But there was one instance where they were showing the BeoLiving Intelligence, I think the Mark III now or whatnot, the new version of it. And I don't know if it was a glare off of the Halo or they actually had a freaking, like a camera feed going into the Halo, like a door cam. I cannot for the life of me. I try to pause it and I wonder if that's possible to do. If there is enough computational power or drivers or anything in it for like do a video feed of a camera, which would be cool. Because I think honestly that the Halo is not a remote control for audio video. Yeah, that's the one. That's the video. And they go through these 50s, and there's a see-through theater, bro. Check this shit out.
Yeah. I'm not sure I entirely like that with that black bar beneath it.
But that's where the screen is attached, right?
Yeah, I know.
It is pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't know. I like my thing the way it is.
I'm pretty sure this admits both ways, right? So if you have anything behind it, it better be very dark. Otherwise, it reflects everything you're watching off the back as well.
Hence the black curtain behind it.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't also see shit like here with mine through the see-through against the window. There is no way that I could utilize this during the day. And at night, you would see the bright lights from the street coming in.
Well, also, you would see whatever you're watching as a reflection in the window.
Mm-hmm. No, I'd have to have the shades are down all the time. But yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. Cool. Very, very fucking cool. I give you that. But as something that is of an actual lifestyle utility, I think it's nonsense, personally. But you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, peoples.
This is something, if I had like some, I don't know, $500 million boat, I would put on my boat and face out over the water if I'm ever into the national waters, right? There's no backdrop.
There's nothing, man. It's just black.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you could swing it, but I don't know. I don't see the utility of it, because even if you put it somewhere where it would be utilizable, you would always see through it, right? Like if it, because that's more or less like a window solution.
Yes.
But in my opinion, what should have been there, which is not possible, but either mechanically or optically turn off the back. Like they should have an LCD screen or liquid crystals behind the OLED that just turn it black. You know, like those washrooms that they conduct that
Yeah.
conductive LCD glass. I would do it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just don't see the utility of it, and I think that for like actual viewing, it would be nice if it had that LCD crystal on the back, so the screen turns black, so you can actually view it. But then when you turn it on, you fully get the benefit of the transparency, or well, transparency, because it's not just translucent.
Yeah,
So
I
you can
mean,
see through it.
even now you see through the top, through the black bars, you see the curtains behind it.
Yes.
Matthias asked, fun question. If you should start from scratch with B&O, what setup would you buy considering today's prices? Both new products from dealer and secondhand B&O are allowed. BeoLab 9.5, etc. Maybe split it up with a setup for someone who listens mostly to music and a setup for someone who mostly loves movies. Whew, yeah, that so much depends on what funds allow.
Yeah.
Because even today's prices, right? There's people that will happily pay it. I don't know if you're in that ballpark, but I mean, what's the budget?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's get through that video actually first. But yeah, it's I don't know, not for me, the screen itself. And now we're getting into those BeoLab Havens, which is right there.
This chassis still looks weird to me. This one looks kind of nice.
Yes. So that's just I guess a mid-range tweeter type of thing, or full range like a Lab 8. I don't know, equivalent to it, right?
Yeah.
But the other ones that are in the orb, in that rectangle, that's with the subwoofer.
Interesting.
And then there is the one that is in the top right corner right now when the video is paused. If you're gonna go to it, it just disappeared off the screen. That one is just the sub with the hole in it. So that is a full range that's behind her.
It's passive, right?
I don't know. I think so. It has to be.
Yeah.
And that's the woofer that was just and then there's the wall mounted ball. So I don't know. I have no idea. There was no, like, it's still in the prototype stage, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So there's really no word on amplification, the power output. They just have it fucking juiced, man, and it sounds really good apparently. And yeah, so that's the future, I guess, of new. Well, obviously they've gone away from Origin Acoustics, so they had to have done something either on their own with somebody else. But I think B&O's always been better doing the sound on their own.
This is actually Charbacks, I think, made this. Thank you for putting your hand next to it, because it gives a size reference.
Mm-hmm.
I for a long time was thinking, like, is this like,
how big is it?
Football size? Is it basketball size? Or are
That's
we talking...
right. That's right. Or a volleyball size, but that's more or less like a volleyball.
Yeah. Like it's something a normal person could sort of palm. So like it's smaller than my hands, but it's still, I don't know, sizable. It's
yes, it's like a volleyball, I would say.
Yeah, but in the pictures, it's
hard to tell.
It's like way bigger than your head, and it's like,
yeah, no, it's not. And yeah, that's the subwoofer only.
Interesting.
And all the subbage is also underneath, so it's the same as the bollard, where the subwoofer tank is underneath the ground, just like this one. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting speaker, man. I really like it. I really like the idea where they're going with it. Maybe it's not for everyone as far as the outdoor, but like, you know, if they're going that B2B route, which I don't think is a bad idea, because that's where I guess the real, you know, exuberant budget money is for. If you're building a fucking hotel that is 5 stars somewhere, right? Like, you are not going to go with a TCL screen. you're gonna put in B&O and so on. Like if they get the contract for it. So that's, I think, for like the lobbies, even for, you know, like the outside, you know, the not the gardens, but where the fucking fountains and shit that they have around the outside perimeter of the hotel, I think, or pool. This would kill on the pool.
Yeah. Or patio dining, that sort of thing. You can hang.
That's right, in the restaurants, and they just, it looks spectacular in my opinion. It does not look like a speaker.
Oh, they're all active speakers.
Interesting. So that's going to be interesting how to run the power link to it and power up to code, because you can't really run this shit in one conduit. That's 2 conduits per speaker.
Yeah.
That's when the cost starts to rise up a little bit.
Yeah, a bit of shavage, and you have 120 or 240 volts on your low voltage line, and
well, it's not even that. I just, even though that the Cat 7 is shielded, you know what, like running it, let's say 50 or 60 meters down side by side with the 60 hertz, 50 hertz, whatever, you know, the voltage is, buzzing beside it, I don't think it's a good idea. But yeah, you definitely double conduit to each. They're PoE? No fucking way.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
So they what? If they were PoE, they would have to be like a PoE plus, if not something that is just running specifically out of the B&O's developed amp.
Which probably also means that we're
or
getting
power supply rather.
A new amp then, if that's the case. I almost doubt it.
Yeah, but PoE, that would be cool. But I don't think that the PoE, even PoE++, is up to the wattage spec that this would require.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go through all of that, you know, the Premiere and all that, and she juices the shit out of it too.
Why does every
I don't understand that, man. Like, how is that impressive? I don't know. Leave a comment in the chat, guys. If you're cool with that, when you go to your dealer and the first thing he does, he blows your fucking hearing off with the first product that you want to have a demo of. Like, do you agree with that? Do you mind it? Do you like it? Maybe run a poll about it. It blows my mind that everywhere you go, it's just, that was one of the things that I, you know, as good as a salesman Scott was back in a day in the Calgary B&O store. Like, the first thing that he told me, like, don't blast the system. Don't take them to the lap 5's room and blow their fucking ears off and then go show them the lap 3's, because they'll never hear the potential anymore. They're done. They're finished. You go from big to small. Clean to dirty, you know? But I just don't understand why. Everywhere we go, it's just, the first thing is just a 6570. I'm like, dude, I understand the power, but that's not realistically how I consume my TV, you know? You barely go over 65.
Yeah, it's just not needed.
So,
I mean, if you work at B&O, surely you know that if you go, especially on this Mozart stuff, right? If you go over 65, 70, you're in the ABL area. So you're doing your product a disservice.
Yes. I completely agree.
Like, yes, it can go louder, but why would you?
Like, I completely agree with you, man. I just don't like it. I've never done it when I was working in sales. I never done it. Like, you know, maybe at the end when they want to listen to the 90s and whatever, then you fucking cook them, right? So what? The demo's done, the deal is done, whatever the decision was already made. They're not here for these speakers anyways, but, you know, hear that full potential. This is what B&O Pinnacle sounds like.
Yeah, but 90s and 50s and stuff don't care about that, right? Like,
no.
You want 120 dB? Okay, here you have it, right? Like,
that's it. At least they got a giver. She put it in lined up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you listen to that video, it's very scripted. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish that they hired more of a, not just a passionate person, because I can see that she's passionate about, you know, showing this stuff. But I think that they also have to have people that are a little bit more through and through knowledgeable about the systems and the product. And also that they have a big of a clue of what the history of the product was and how it all became what it is. I think that helps a lot. They look white, but they're apparently satin, velvet, whatever color, like they
Yeah, I was
purplish.
going to say they look slightly off.
And yeah, the guy was annoying. I give him that too. So, yeah, he should have let her just run through the spiel and just save your shit for later. Or I don't know. Maybe the dynamics of it all was weird. Maybe she should have just paused after every vignette per se and asking questions, and then I guess established that sort of attraction and routine in it. And maybe that would have gone smoother. But I'm not a fan of that grill sitting on the ground just like that.
These are written off.
I don't give a shit, man. It still sucks.
Yeah. I mean,
I just don't like looking at it.
These go to a few shows, right? And they're completely written off.
And then they go on the, what was that? URI list, used and return inventory.
They may refurbish the chassis for like somebody that actually works at HQ, but other than that, like they're completely made impossible to purchase or even how would you
they're
say?
just
I'm thinking of how to put it into words without giving anything away, but there was a point at which I potentially could have had some 90s here for very little because they were ex-show demo ones.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, they decided essentially, like, even if we repair it, like they've been knocked around and whatever so much that it has to stay within the company, or at least somebody within the company.
Yeah, they also, I think, want to prevent spillage of bad rap, right, for something that has been used and abused, and that's just where it's at.
I mean, they were potentially at a price point where it was so competitive that you could buy the 2 whole suitcases and it would still make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like just replace all the drivers and all the boards, right?
No, the suitcase definitely makes sense for 90s. I will get me one at some point as well, just to have it.
I do like this color on the 90s, quite honestly.
It is nice. I'm surprised that they haven't really showed. Well, they showed the concept of those BeoLab Haven speakers, but they haven't shown a concept of the new rework of the Harmony per se, right? Because there is a new TV coming. It's just they're still keeping it on the DL. See, there's the BLI. There's the BLI. See that on the right-hand side? Is that a reflection or is it a fucking camera view? Or lights?
I don't know.
Right? Like, is it, or is just like it's greased up fingerprints and whatnot? But like, I just couldn't figure out like if it was, because it looks like there's a dude waving there.
Yeah. It's greasy for sure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just wondered because that would have been super cool if you could just scroll a page and look at your camera on the Halo. Because at the end of the day, let's face the fact, man, Halo was never really designed. I think that again another one. It's like BeoSound Shape, another one of those misunderstood products. It was never, in my opinion, to be marketed as a AV remote control ever. It should have been marketed as a BLI interface to your BeoLiving Intelligence, as a basically your keypad or switch replacement in your rooms. Because at the end of the day, if you look at it, these Lutron keypads that we were putting in at that condo down in Oldport, their Lutron keypads were about 1,000 Canadian each. So you're not really that far off of something that has a little bit better control, in my opinion, than those. I forget what the brand is, Lutron, of course, but I forget what. It's a brand new keypad, right? They're all metal with the buttons that are backlit, but the engraving is not backlit, so you have to really know what you're pressing. And I just find it a little counterintuitive, where like this would have made more sense. The whole house would have made more sense in B&O, in my opinion. But then again, I'm so biased towards this brand that it just makes sense because I know how to integrate it to live with it properly.
Well, BLI in terms of integration is also not the hardest thing to work with.
No, it's not. And it's not like what it used to be back in the 2008 when it first came out, the Masterlink Gateway. That was, man, like you need a science and degree in psychology, psychiatry, and patience. And then some understanding of, Dano-American thinking, because it was Henrik that did it, that put it all together. But it worked, man. It freaking worked. And how many companies that at the time you could have gone and said, like, your Sony fucking 5-disc spinning carousel changer from 1995 that you could, or 96, that you could control it with an iPhone, right? Back then it was what, iPhone 3G. So that was one of the first apps that that was the first time that I've ever seen, you could control Masterlink products with the little boxy box. It was sick. And then it just went further and further and further, and now it's where we got. But yeah, they're back at that goofy ass TV.
Penfriend says it's annoying when his levels use stereo pairing. Are you on what's it called? One of those hop over network things.
Mesh networks?
Yeah, mesh networks. Because that interference of the backend over mesh sometimes pulls that.
I know that I've had few service calls back in the yesteryears with levels where the owner or a client put in a extender from the ISP provider, right? Because they have these like room extenders for Wi-Fi, which is basically the mesh network. And it was absolutely zero need for how small his place was. It fucked the levels up beyond bearable.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it, man. But that's one thing that I would say definitely is they're very touchy when it comes to the network issues, and especially meshy mesh.
Yeah. Also, go into your router settings and set the 2.5 or 2.4 and 5 gigahertz channels to whatever channel is available and make it static. Because I have a feeling that a lot of it happens when your router does a sweep, right? And they don't, they're not instantly on the same bandwidth necessarily or channel switch. And that's when they go, I'm looking for the other. And it's like, oh, there's nothing there. I'm done.
Yeah, and then you just have the orange light flashing and no music coming out. But yeah, the network nowadays is very important. But yeah, and set it to static. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so at any rate, that's the new BeoSound or BeoLab Haven that are coming out. I just really wonder what the back end of it's going to look like. And yeah, I don't think that these speakers can be active. But then if they're not, what sort of a freaking juicy cable do you have to run into them in order to power that? Because they are, from what that video was, they're very capable speaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Yeah, Sonos is usually more solid than B&O. I have to give you that, but it still sounds like Sonos at the end of the day.
Well, they also do it differently, right? Like they hop, like you essentially attach one speaker and that hops over to everything else. Whereas B&O like attaches everything to the router, but there's also like it makes more of a triangle of communication. Whereas like Sonos does a sort of a fucking net of it.
Mm-hmm. Where will the Heaven concept sit in the lineup? That's a very good question, really, because it's what, active living, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe it won't even be included in the normal mortals portfolio, really, because that's what the word was, that it's supposed to be B2B strictly, right?
I wouldn't mean, looking on the press pages and stuff from B&O, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it's sort of something we do, but that you have to know about and ask for because we're not going to stage it. So
well, technically the bollards really weren't that shown off either in the catalogs on the website and such, right?
somehow dealers had to have them in the showroom for a little while, but
Well, they still do, but now it's like, what do you do? What if you need another bollard and you only have one in the showroom that you want to sell, but your client wants to, and now they don't do them anymore?
take them out the showroom, I guess.
It's
I
plus,
don't know.
yeah, that's the outside acoustics, man. It's a pain because you have to do it before any sod or any of that gardening is done and finished. But conduits, and here it's a hit and miss with the conduits because of the constant freeze and thaw. Sometimes it freezes enough that it cracks the conduit, and then the water gets in it, and that freezes, and then you're fucked. But
Yeah, so you probably have to go, I don't know, 60 to 90 centimeters deep of there at least.
oh yeah, but then you're getting into all kinds of permits territories now, right?
Yeah.
Call before you dig or whatever. I don't know if you guys have that service in US. I'm sure there is something on the similar.
They can buy and put little flags everywhere.
That's right. And it's spray on the road and shit, and this is where you can and can't.
Yeah. Because you don't want to end up with like, what's this huge cable of wires?
Unicorn hair of optical wires that you just pulled out with the backhoe.
Yeah.
That's I've seen those TikTok videos, I guess.
Well, this is why they dig with water, right? With high pressure water. Because like at least you're not like going with a shovel like that onto potential cables.
No, it's way easier to get into where you need to be. It's loud and noisy, but it works much better than a backhoe, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That thing is just senseless. But
yeah, when something has that much power, right? Like the little resistance of a few cables, you're not really going to feel in the controls anyway.
no, there's no way. There's no way you would. Because sometimes the rock would have more resistance than the cable itself, right? There's no way you would feel it. You just zing, zing, and that's it. So my colleague, I don't know if I told you that, I think it was last week or no, I think it was Monday that he popped his first cherry. He put a hole saw right through the Lumex live cable.
Oops.
Oh, tonto. It was funny because I purposely drilled straight down because I knew where, the stud is on this side, the box is on this side, so the cable is going to be stapled to the stud on that side, right? So I drilled just enough, and I was going to get the chisel to just, beat out the hole so we can pass the cable.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, he picked up his drill and just fucking juiced the hole in 45, went right through it all. Like, sweet, bro. So now I got welder's mark on my bit and a good story around the campfire, I guess, that he's got. He literally just took like exactly 3/4 inch chunk out of the cable. No sides.
Oops.
Clean through. Always look before you drill or whatever, even if you're doing like a simple pre-wire, man. Always look on both sides of the joists, because you never know what the other side carries. Sometimes it's fucking water, or worse, it's like glycol, because I've seen that. You can't really get into the fire sprinkler system because they're metal pipes, but yeah,
you got to really try at that point.
mm-hmm. Then you're really trying.
Yeah, my brother-in-law wrecked a Milwaukee drill because he's using one of these cheap stud finders, right? Found the stud, and missed the stud, but on the side that Romex was stapled in, so he went straight into the Romex.
Fried the drill.
Yeah, and the Romex in the wall.
Fuck. That's the worst, because now I have to open the wall, put a junction box. It'll always look ugly as a reminder forever and ever to be there.
Yeah,
hey,
I mean, they moved house in, so it's good.
But still, right? Sometimes when you wonder, why the fuck is there a plug in the middle of the wall? Well, that's the reason why. They figured they just put a plug in there, a few inches higher above the hole or above the cable cut, right? So you have slack to do it. And then
when we got this house, I thought I had so many power outlets.
That's what everybody thinks till they move in and realize that
No.
It's not.
Everywhere the wall was cracked, they put blank plates over. Motherfucker.
Oh, that sucks. That's a cheese ball trick shot, man. That is hilarious. That's a fucking feels bad though, man. Because when you take that off and you go, motherfucker.
It's just a hole in the wall. It's like, what the
hell? Oh no.
I mean, there's some of them are like 2 finger holes, right? Like you can literally just stick your fingers through. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Why tape it when you can just? Yeah, it's way cheaper, right? What is it, $3 at Home Depot for a fucking plate? The blank plate, probably cheaper than that.
Oh, 98 cents.
Exactly. Or you're gonna go there and now fucking paint the whole wall and whatever. Here, dude, there's like $10 worth of this shit. Saves you 2 weeks of work. Bye. Yeah. Right? Because it's just what it is.
Yeah. So most of it, like the only place it's still visible is in the bathroom. Because
I am guilty of it too, though. But I was made to put blank plates, though. I never done it on mine place, but
I think what happened in the bathroom, right, is they hung like this rack for, I don't know, towels and shit, and it came off the wall. Obviously, it wasn't in a stud. But the light switches are straight below it, so like 4 inches, like 10 centimeters above, is an equal wide plate. And I was like, wait, so did they move the box and just plate it? Like, this makes no sense, right? So I took it off the wall. It's like, oh, it's just a hole in the wall. It's like, that's all it is.
There's 2 more from the screws that they put in. Fuck. Oh, boy. But yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of it, too.
I guess I can run power now to the other side of the bedroom, right? And just have a speaker there. So in that sense, the hole is actually useful. But because it's big enough that, like, I can sort of get most of my hand in like that and touch the Romex.
Oh, you can pull it out?
Yeah, because it's loose. So it's like I can just make a box on the other side of the wall and put the speaker on the wall.
That's funny. But yeah, that's the cover plates. I remember that doing it mostly in the time of like the Masterlink and the Link eyes when the clients moved, right? So you take the Link eye out and you got this, what is it, at least 12, 13 centimeter hole or whatever it is, round.
Yeah.
Out of all the things, which doesn't make sense in North America, right? Everything is rectangular here. There's none of those round electrical boxes here, unless you deal with Lutron specific nonsense with the keypads like we did in the old port. Those were round. But yeah, it's just double blank, fuck off, boof. That's it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I got an email from Mr. Lee, and his favorite speaker is a BeoSound Edge, and I'll read it. He says this is his number one, and it may shock most people, is a BeoSound Edge, and it's all about the application. Sure, you don't get a traditional stereo separation; it still feels strange standing opposite and hearing left and right channels, firing sideways rather than towards you. But the floor space is limited in like a kitchen. Having one mounted on the wall is the ultimate kitchen B&O solution. With the BeoSound 9000 hardwired to it, the B&O app lets you stream through it to the other edge and also the stage in other rooms. It's probably the most underrated, underappreciated multi-room speaker B&O has ever made. He originally had one, but then added another, and he added this for reference.
That's cool. I like that the clock matches the diameter.
I didn't even notice. I mean, the only thing Danes would say is put that wire in the wall, right? But other than that, it makes absolute sense.
Well, he did one. The second one is probably not in the wall yet. See?
Yeah.
Because you know
So
how you install things. You have a dick card. You just need to see it on the wall, take a
so
picture, and then deal with the rest.
so this is the other way, which is
Nice.
I mean, there's us. Let's see. What does he say for his number 3 speaker? Or number 2. Uh, I think he means BeoLab. BeoLab 8000 Mark II. Hands down the best speaker I've ever heard. I don't have the budget for 5s, 50s, 90s, and can only imagine they're even better. The classic David Lewis design combined with the sound quality makes them something special. He's got a set of Mark 1s in his office.
Lap 5s?
No, 8000s Mark 1s.
Oh, 8000s. Oh, okay.
And he sits as centrally as possible. They're fantastic for listening while working, but the Mark IIs in the listening room are on another level. Ignore the cable management in brackets. You can really notice the extra bass, sometimes even a bit too much with modern CDs, so I occasionally dial it back. And then we'll just... he says his number 3 of top 3 is BeoLab 6000. He has 7 of them sitting in his main lounge.
Jesus Christ.
Almost unnoticed. I think that's exactly what David Lewis intended, is what he said. Teamed with a Lab 2. He uses a Denon receiver. It's the best surround sound system he's ever had. And I'll show you some pictures.
So he's into the classic piano. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, it's a personal top 10, top trumps, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a problem with when somebody asks you, like, what is the best, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, what do you mean? Like purely technically, or like for you, or...
Yeah, with piano, it's very hard to dial and tune it in because there's so many speakers over the decades of portfolio that, and the combinations are more or less endless at this point of time.
Well, it also has to like somewhat fit. You have to like it.
That's exactly it.
I mean, Steve loves his pentas, right? Like, I don't care for pentas. Like, Lab
Neither
1s
do
all
I.
day.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to the music of the era, it makes complete sense.
They sound the best for that.
I mean, if you mostly listen to, I don't know, 70s, 80s, and early 90s music, I think a penta is a better option than 28s for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because 28s makes them sound like it's mastered yesterday. It does something to it where it's like, what's going on?
It's good to be a Sound 5 or Encore, one or the other. I hope it's the 5.
But yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic home office. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I'd happily work there.
Yeah, it's cozy. Yeah, that's almost like a classic B&O picture from back in the yesteryears in catalogs.
I mean, again, this is something I don't think continentals know or Americans know, right? Like, there is something about British houses where, like, a lot of them are very old and the shapes are just strange inside, coming from America, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have, like, this sort of where this cabinet is, that's sort of built in the fireplace, right? Like, you can't do much with the space. It's one way and that's kind of it.
That's it.
Like, even if you, I don't know, lived here, right, and said, oh, 50s are better, like, you're stuffing them in here if that needs to fit.
Oh yeah, no, those would, like, you're never opening that one side of the drawer thing or whatever, the cabinet.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that sense, are they the best then? Well, not for you.
Oh, so he's old school. He's got the 6000 as a center channel too.
Yeah.
That's proper old school. He's got a white BeoSound 5. Shit. Or is it just a reflection? It looks like it's a white BeoSound 5. Those were very rare, that I recall.
But I mean, it's an amazing setup. I wouldn't change a thing.
Nope.
I mean, the funny thing is, right? Like even in this setup, even if you change some of the 6000s to 8000s or 18s, they're so much bigger. And they're not big speakers, right? But in this room, it's gonna feel like it's huge.
Yeah, they would start getting large. 5s would be killer. Like that would just too much.
Yeah.
It's a cute little install, that's for sure.
Yeah, British houses in their fireplace.
Yeah, there's also in Montreal it's the same. But that new modern style of apartments like I live in now, there is no such thing as that. Plus, there's elevators and not narrow staircases and narrow doorways, right? Because it's not built around. Back then, they didn't know people are going to have 90s going through the doors and shit. So,
well, or any TVs, right? Like this house was probably built before the TV was even a thing. They probably barely had a radio when this house was built. I mean, back in those days in Britain, they called it the wireless, which means radio.
Yeah, the 6000 as a center channel works like that. It is, you know what? You don't really hear it, but you know it's not the most optimal thing to do, 100%. But it fucking works, and that's what's important. And this predates the BNO 7.2 channels or speakers, when there was no center channel before. Before center channel that BNO utilized were two BeoLab 4000s clunked together, which were a pain in the ass to install, by the way, precisely. And then that was that. Then the 6000s, some people started to butcher and then just glue in on the top cap from the other side, drilling the hole through the aluminium to pull out the power link socket out and put the power in. And they usually drilled 2 more holes, and basically that's how it was attached directly into the wall. Very rudimentary, but it still worked as a center channel, right?
Yeah. I mean, I get it that it's a point of pride and a good thing in general to not put your TV above a fireplace, right? But in this room, can you do anything else?
Yeah. No choice.
I mean, I bet you the only way is to flip it around, but then you're looking at the door all the time, right? And your glass shutter doors are becoming basically non-functional.
Or do you do some sort of a scissor lift that the TV comes down like this?
Yeah, in front. Then we're getting into silly money, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I don't know. The fireplace always cooks the TVs at the end of the day, no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, also if you flip it 90 degrees the other way, right? There's a couch in front of the fireplace, so that also stops the functionality of the fireplace. Yeah. Like you're just pumping heat into a couch at that point. Like this seems to be the only option to do it in this home anyway.
Yes.
I mean, my neighbors have a similar size house to me, a bit larger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they have a fireplace. And for some reason, they put a TV above it.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, they have a whole wall, right, where they can put it. They can just have, like, the fireplace be a sort of accent in the corner. But they chose, nah. Because the fireplace is sort of awkwardly almost in a corner, right? And that's where they put the TV. It's like, oh, come on.
I don't know. I call it the great North Americanism because it's everywhere. But there is really, like, you're a victim of a circumstance more or less than anything, because the freaking fireplace location is usually at the best spot of the room, right? It's always the focal point, central point, and the story. Which back in the day when TVs weren't around and the heat was the only thing that you could stare at, I agree and understand. But nowadays, that ain't like that no more.
No.
But then again, like, was it Megan's theory that she was saying that because the people use recliners and the lazy boys, so they kind of recline back, so then you are actually looking up that way. Yeah.
Everything you watch is like this.
So then the TV low to the ground doesn't make sense because now you're looking over your nose, right?
I mean, there's an enormous brand literally called Lazy Boy, right? Like everything
they make
is,
those. Yeah,
like I'm gonna watch a film. I'm gonna watch a show. I'm gonna
powered recliner.
Like half of your life in the US is like this if you buy American furniture.
That's it.
It's literally Wall-E people.
It is Wall-E people, for God's sakes. I need to rewatch that movie. That was so good.
I've always found that strange, right? Like, yes, I am American, but I've grown up in Europe so long that you come here and it's the little things, right? People don't sit on things here. Like, I mean, they are physically on something, but they always pull their legs up or something. They don't sit like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Like it's always like you always lean or put your feet up or anything or like sideways and start leaning and
yeah.
But you
it's
don't
always
just sit on anything.
No, it's none of like the classroom seating, right? Like no, that doesn't. Yeah, not many people sit like that.
I mean,
I don't remember sitting like that ever really when we moved here. Like yeah, it's just you just curl up on the couch, whatever, lean back, put your legs up on an ottoman or whatever, right? Like it's just fucking, I don't know. That's the way it is here.
Yeah, I don't know. I do it on occasion, but it's not the norm, so to say. I mean, you don't even have to sit up that proper, right? But just regular, your feet flat on the ground, you sit on whatever it is, and maybe a bit of a lean, but like, like how you sit, I don't know, like this, right? This is not like full on lazy boy, like.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess in a restaurant you sit like that.
Yeah.
In a car, well, somewhat. I kind of lean back in my car, but.
I mean, but even that's sitting, right? But like, have a passenger, especially females in North America, right? Like, they'll just pull their legs up on the front chair. It's like, what the hell?
That's one thing that even my girlfriend did that once. She was trying to put the feet up on the dash. I'm like, don't fucking ever do that, man. Don't ever do that. She's like, why? What do you mean? Then I showed her a couple YouTube videos of what happens if the airbags go off and how you fucking kick your head in with your own feet and die. So yeah, I'm like, no, none of that is happening here. You sit properly, like we're traveling now. Like, you know, it's not necessarily that I'm gonna make a mistake. It's all the other people around you that are an unknown variable on the road at all times. Especially when it snows here, then it's a shit show.
Yeah, it's you got to feel sad when the safety equipment makes it more dangerous for you because you're being a dumbass, right? I mean, it's the same way, like the people that go around corners and they grab the wheel like that, right? Like if you hit anything like that airbag is going to smack you like that, and it's going to break your wrist.
Yep.
Like you don't grab it, like you don't do one of these things. No, it's over. Because if the airbag goes, you let go.
Yeah. Life tips, everybody. Don't do that. Don't do that shit. It's not good for you.
Mr. Bill made a ranking of speakers.
All right.
He went the full opposite way. Like we're gonna get this into science, man. We're gonna rank things.
All right, let's go to the science of it.
So his overall rank is BeoLab 90. He says, it's my dream speaker. Always loved the design, and their sound quality does not need any comments. Unfortunately, the size of my living room nor my bank account will allow me to get them in the near future. Tell me about it. Hopefully sometime I'm not in the too distant future after moving to a house. Yeah, I mean, even if you had the money, right, you need the space. It's
you do need space.
I mean, you had the opposite when you bought them. You had the money but not the space, so you got them anyway.
That's it. Space will come with time.
His number 2 is BeoLab 5. Iconic design, but never got the pleasure to listen to them. Based on what I've read and heard from others, I placed them as number 3 in terms of sound. I mean, he literally did the sound design some rank all. I don't know if people can read it properly. Let me know if it's. I can't make.
It's pretty legible. It's pretty legible, even for my eyes, bro.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
BeoLab 18 is his number 3. Best looking speaker ever made. I think I agree with that.
I agree with that. As far as the icon goes, it is hands down the nicest.
I mean, I understand why people say the original, but to me, I always liked the 8000. Nothing wrong with them, but the 18s is where it went from a good looking speaker to a very pretty speaker.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of the difference between like the best looking girl in your school to like a model, right? Like where like there's a difference where everybody goes like, oh, you're good looking, and where like somebody walks by and the whole street goes, what the hell walked by there?
That's a drop dead. That's
yeah.
it.
And I think the 18s are pretty much in that camp.
Mm.
Best look managed to improve the design of 8000. Many of us would say already had reached perfection. Missing bass and some mid-range refinement compared to his beloved 28s. I know most people don't seem to agree with me on the latter part, but this is my list. Yeah, exactly. This is your list, right? Like, all I ask for people is like, give me your list. Like, I don't care in what way you consider it best. Like, I mean, if I don't know, let's say you're some designer, right? And to you, the actual visual appearance of something is the most important. Who am I to say that's wrong?
That's right.
I mean, I too would put 18s over 28s because looks, right? And it's not hard to say that 28s on a technical perspective are a better speaker.
Well, they're definitely better speaker. The 18s are dumb, right? But that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I mean, but even in sound output and that sort of thing, right? Like,
I think 18s sound great. Depends on what you're playing with them. Like, if you're fucking throwing in dubstep and expect to have 20 hertz popping, that's not going to happen. But if you're playing any sensible jazz music or anything that has real instruments in it, they sound very, very good. Very, very good. So then we got the 50s at the dealer.
Yes. Phenomenal sounding speakers from bass to treble that are my more reasonable dream speaker compared to the 90s. Initially, I did not like the design that much, but it has grown on me. I can see that. They're not as polarizing as 5s ever were in terms of design. I mean, the BeoLab 5 at the time and for a long time during its life cycle, it's kind of stark, right? And it's definitely not for everybody. I wasn't a fan until like maybe the last 3 years of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in an average looking home, 5s will always look a bit weird.
Yes.
Whereas 50s don't have that problem. And
they're much more subdued of a design, where 5s are a little bit more of it's a very futuristic still look, even 20 years down the road.
Yeah. And you kind of have to like, this is not a con or anything, but you kind of have to match your interior to that, I feel, to make it look coherent and whatnot, because otherwise it's sort of like everybody walks in and it's sort of like it's the first thing, like, is it going to attack me? What the fuck is going on here? Sort of thing, right? Like,
It is weird, but yeah, it's exactly that.
Whereas the 50s blend in way more. Like it's still a sort of architectural vase, but it's not like this weird Dalek kind of alien thing that's coming after you.
Very true. Very true.
I mean, I bet you for fives, right? Like the British also have a different connotation with BeoLab fives than most of the rest of the world because of Doctor Who. Because I mean, fives just look like the bad guys in Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, what they do. The
like.
Daleks or whatever they're called. Yeah. They still to this day like sound. They're a very impressive speaker for their age and time, and they're very impressive speaker. That's for sure.
I would still love to own a pair someday, but the only place I could put them is here, right? It's kind of like I would do it if the price is right. Don't get me wrong. Crazy enough to do it, I guess, but
yeah. But if you want them done or redone properly, then I don't think anything under 10 grand can. Well, Canadian, I think like you're floating around 12 and a half to get them fucking redone. If you want to buy them redone,
yeah,
which isn't that bad. Considering it's like so they float around 15 on eBay.
I mean, for the longest time, I was very much in limbo of like, for my rear speakers, do I get another set of 50s or a set of 5s?
And I think you made a good decision.
I think so too. I mean, but at the end of the day, right, it wasn't the design or sound necessarily. It was literally the headache of repairability. And since it's the main system, like I don't all of a sudden, like a year from now, want to find out I'm without rear speakers for 6 months, however long it takes nowadays to get chassis remade or repaired. It's not a week or two, to put it that way, especially
to get them fixed.
Yeah, especially
no, it's a few months. If you lose the speaker for a few months, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna buy them, and you buy them redone already. Let somebody else go through the fucking pain of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. What is it? BeoLab 28.
Yeah, no, his number 5, my favorite. Sounds fantastic in my living room. Both the stereo speakers in his front, left, right with his theater. It got me into B&O after many years as an audiophile with regular hi-fi brands. Now most of my old music equipment has been replaced with B&O in only a year and a half. Will always have a special place in my hi-fi heart. Yeah, great. Like if I was B&O, I would pay attention to people like Bill. If you had separates your whole life and then all of a sudden somebody showed you the light, right? Go talk to that somebody, like, and go talk to Bill, right? Because you want more customers like this.
Everybody else be like Bill.
See the light. Praise Bill. Well, I guess he's an apostle, so you shouldn't praise him too much, but we should follow him a little bit.
That's it. Number 6.
BeoLab 8. Great sounding speaker as my surrounds on theater in the living room. My second pair is also great in my bedroom for TV and music above 40, 45 in volume. Gets a bit bland, I think, in sound at lower volume. At least in my bedroom, despite having them on floor stands a bit out from the wall. My KEF LSXs are better at low volume. Very versatile with all its stands and mounting options. Yeah, for the accountants and bankers and stuff among us, spreadsheets, man. Spreadsheets.
That's it. And he did it nice, man. Oh, fucking like colors and stuff and everything. It looks legit. It looks legit, bro.
It's even subdivided. What do you care for, the sum and the sound? Or do you care more about the total?
That's hilarious.
Number 7, BeoLab 8000. Classic speaker from the 90s that got many non-B&O people to dream about owning some B&O speakers, including me. Max says his dad just ordered a walnut and bronze 28s. Really looking forward to them.
Sweet. I'm gonna look nice, man. Walnut is nice. I love walnut.
Also with bronze, that is quite nice.
Mhm.
You're gonna have a bit of an adjustment. If I remember right, your dad has ones at the moment. So you're gonna go to a lot more bass and a lot softer treble. Not less imprecise, but it'll
I
be
think
interesting.
imaging is going to be better too.
Yes.
Let us know your thought on that in a few podcast time, I guess.
No,
BeoSound, no, BeoLab 8000s. We've done those.
yeah.
BeoSound 2.
An art sculpture that also sounds really pleasing to most music genres. Fully agree.
100% agreed. 100% agreed.
Like the 18s, right? It's one of these things where you can just sort of look at it when it's off. Like it doesn't necessarily need to be on to be appreciated.
Exactly. Plus, also, I think that in the BeoSound 2, the way that the light breaks off of it is very sexy,
Yes.
especially in the sunrise and whatever. It's a little different with the BeoSound 1 that I have, but it's still, that the light dances a little differently because it's completely piano black smooth. But it's still nice. It's a very nice sculpture to look at, and even better to listen to, I guess, in the same time.
BeoSound Level. Great sound for its size, and probably great as a surround rear speaker to theater premiere. The design is great for wall mounting, but not the best carry around as it feels a bit unstable when grabbing and setting it down. My Sonos Move 2 is, for example, a bit more stable when moving it around. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's more or less like, I think that the level wasn't really supposed to travel as much as the BeoSound A5. Period.
Yeah, that's in the end why I went with an A5, right? Because like our table outside, yes, it's metal, but
it's still wobbly. If you run into it or bump into it, the shit's gonna topple, and this for sure it would, unless you're always conscious of the fact that you lay it down, right?
Yeah.
But then it's an A4 size of sheet of a paper real estate on the table. It's quite a bit.
And at some point when you do that, somebody's going to put a drink on it because it looks like a goddamn coaster. It's just a really thick one.
Or tray or some, yeah.
Oh, I thought this was where the hot pan went.
Oh fuck! There goes the Quadrat grill. Shit. I guess if it's oak, it's not bad, but man. But yeah, level is. I have mine in the bathroom, and I think it serves an amazing purpose there. I used to have the Emerge there. I moved the Emerge now to in this apartment. It's in the hallway. It plays exactly 7 minutes a day when I get home. Well, 14 minutes because 7 minutes when I leave and 7 minutes when I come back.
A lot of people appreciate the spreadsheet, Bill.
Yeah.
If anything else,
great.
They more like your spreadsheet than your opinion.
Yeah, you fucking killed it, bro. That's funny.
BeoSound Balance.
Last but not least.
Yes. For some, the balance has great sound, but for me, the treble is a bit fatiguing. Biosonic was not able to correct it for me in a good way. I would have needed a full EQ, possibly to just tame the upper treble without lowering the mid treble. I mean, for me, right, like the first thing where I'm going to completely disagree is the marking for design on the balance.
I don't think it's that high.
I don't hate it, right? It's a very good speaker. It's very capable.
It's a very Muto design. Like it looks like one of those, clay sculptures or whatever. But I don't know. I've never really been a big a balance fan of the shape of it. Sound wise, because I wasn't really fan of the shape, I never paid attention much to the sound. Like I remember when I first started working at Quebecson, when I came into Montreal, I took the silver one home, right?
Yes.
And there's not much you can listen to in an Airbnb and fucking juice in it, but it did a fair good job at playing music. But I just I was never sold on the shape of it. To me, it just looks like I don't have, in my eyes, I don't have a place to put it that would blend in the way I would like it to blend in, per se.
Yeah. He has some remarks. I have not listened to either BeoLab 20 or 9. The BeoLab 20 should be on the list, but I only did an exception for one speaker that I hadn't listened to, the Iconics 5. However, when it comes to the BeoLab 9s, I just cannot stand their penguin-looking design. That's where design, I fully agree. The 9s
That's
look
it.
so weird.
It looks like a bulldog with an overbite.
Yeah, it's really like hi, I'm Trevor.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the look of the 20s way more, but
20s were like proper office, like the Men in Black, I guess, with the suit. That little
yeah, I mean,
cut was nice.
I think the 9s sound a bit nicer, but I don't like looking at them. The 20s look nicer, but I don't like the sound of them that much. So
Yeah, do you put a Wi-Fi receiver on the 9s and deal with the chin, or do you listen to it the way they sound and have everything built into one platform?
I mean, I guess the only thing that has a caveat to that is that I haven't listened to 20s on the theater.
I've always liked the 9s, and I've liked them for one simple reason, that I had a BeoVision 9, so that chin was protruding from the center of the BeoVision 9. So that whole design language it made sense back then. Now it's BV9 and a set of 8000s at my mom's house that stayed behind, and still works. I don't think that BeoConnect Encore will ever be sold standalone. I just don't see that happening. I more or less see the BeoConnect Core become a DPL stereo receiver for the speakers in the theater per se, than them ever releasing the Encore.
I'm just going to pull a bunch of things and see where everybody's at, because this to me is a really hard question on a on a personal note.
That is tough. Fuck. I don't know what to click now.
What is prettier, a BeoLab 18 on the floor or a BeoLab 12.3 on the wall?
Can a BeoSound shaped speaker be used on a wall as a single or stereo paired as a non-active speaker? I'm not sure what that even means you're asking, but I guess like use them as a conventional stereo speakers. You could do that, but you can only do it with one amplifier. As long as you tie in two, that no longer works. So if you design the shape in a way that you have two sets of drivers tiles on left and right, you could plug it in to a Marantz or Denon and 12-volt trigger, and you can trigger the PowerLink socket on the amp and have them work, I guess, in a passive way, if I'm understanding, or non-active. I don't understand the non-active part of it.
Well, that's the thing, right? The BeoSound shape is technically passive because the speakers are driven by the amplifier. Like, and the amplifier is external to the speakers.
It's but it's still
tile.
An active system. Oh, like to just run a different amplifier into them directly and just bypass the
I don't know if he's asking
amplifier.
That. Maybe.
If you're trying to bypass the shape amplifier, I don't know. I've never ran them like that, but I'm sure you could. I don't see why not.
Yeah, you just have to make sure the resistance, like in ohms and whatever else, are roughly the same. That you don't, like, I don't know, juice them with 200 watts a channel.
Yeah, but I think that the problem that you're going to roll into is the fact that the crossover is done on the shape tile amplifier, because you have plus and minus two conductors going into each speaker. There's two of them, one for the tweeter and one for the bass. I don't know which one is which. So that crossover network is built into the shape amp. So I don't think you could fuck around and try to do it with whatever else have you. I just don't think it will work.
Well, that is a blowout in terms of everybody's votes. It's 91% BeoLab 18 on the floor over 12.3 on the wall. Interesting.
18 still got it, man. They always have.
In that case, I'm going to make Make a new poll.
But yeah, where were we with this talking? Yeah, I wouldn't try to do the shape like that. I would just, you know what, if you're considering doing the shape, then just do the amplifier with it and then drive that passively, drive that externally with whatever you have, if it's a stereo receiver, or I mean a stereo, or it's a surround receiver of a third party kind, but run it with the trigger. But don't run the speakers separately from the shape amplifier tile. I think you're either gonna blow the tweeters, which is very likely because the bass drivers can take a little more. But I think that without it being properly crossed over, I think you're gonna just cook the shit out of it, and you're gonna be out more money than you gain by saving on a amplifier tile. That's my opinion of it. But I really hope that B&O wakes up and does enable in software for the BeoConnect core to become a receiver for a stereo pair of or a DPL stereo receiver, so you can utilize that power link, because I think that's the most sensible way of doing it. And at the end of the day, you still make more money of selling one BeoConnect core to a client that he can pop in two speakers off of than selling two receiver ones when they're going from a VISA enabled system. Plus, also now you expand on the limitation that the Premiere has right now, which is only DPL. So then you could tie in, let's say, your BeoLab 8000s or whatever have you that you want to recycle in the system in that way. Well, you know my answer, fuck. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would, if I was a CEO of Bang & Olufsen, I think I would look at expandability, or expanding functionality rather, in our current portfolio in some ways. I think the portfolio is good and strong. They just need to make a speaker that is of a BeoLab 20 kind ish, like, or that.
I think in their minds that's the 28.
But it's not. The 28 does not have that output. It just does not.
I agree, but I think they have settled that that is where they are. I mean, I think in the last few years, and I don't know if this is a CEO related thing or just a general area, right, where they kind of want to step away from subwoofers and sort of forget about the real bottom ends, other than for 50s and 90s.
I think that's a mistake in leadership, in my opinion. If they're going to go away from the subs, they have to make a subwoofer that is DPL compatible. They have to do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying like I think they're correct, right? But I think that's where their mind is. Like, I mean, again, this is not a criticism, but when you watch a lot of Andrew Robinson, right? Like, often whenever anything is mentioned as full range, it's 40 hertz to 20K, right? Like something like that. And it's, to me, it's like 40. Like, wait, if that's impressive, then 18s are impressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what, like 5-6 hertz of the bottom end of 18s, and to us, like to everybody, like they say 18s don't have a lot of bass, yet they do that sort of bass.
Yeah,
it's yeah, I don't know. I wish they made a subwoofer. I wish they made something akin to a 19 with the 10-inch drivers you find in 50s and 90s.
that would be cool. Then also that never-ending question would have to get answered, that how do you pair them? Like, would then the subwoofer become your DPL streamer, essentially? Because it would have to have a Mozart chip in it, regardless. Like, it's like everything else would have a Mozart chip in it.
There's a way to do it, but I almost feel that's ancillary to the question of sound, right? Like that is a sort of an option problem, not necessarily the subwoofer problem.
Fair.
I mean, I don't know if people played around with it and what you have at home, but they're like 30 hertz from a 10-inch driver doesn't sound the same as 30 hertz from an 8-inch driver or a 6-inch driver.
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not.
I mean, even though it's literally this, like, even if you level it at the same output and the same hertz and everything, there is a tonality difference.
Well, it just can't move that much air on its own, bro.
Yeah.
Period. It's physics you're competing with.
I mean, there is a driver size where when the driver gets so large, it becomes kind of silly. Like, I don't necessarily think you need to go to like 15 or 18 inches like SVS seems to do, or 17 inches, or whatever it is, right? But I think 10 to 12 inches is kind of the sweet spot for most subs. And since they already know this driver inside and out, right? Like, why not put it in a box as a sub?
I honestly think that the Edge should have been a subwoofer. I think that design concept should have been put on a shelf and come out now as a Mozart platform subwoofer base. That's it. With that motorized bass port, I think that would be something to say.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Ooh, this is a much closer one. It's 57 BeoLab 50, 43% BeoLab 5. Huh.
The white cloth fabric 5s look sweet. Also, just a warning for anybody out there, don't ding your BeoLab 5 platters. They are no longer available for spare parts to order from B&O. So if you dent it, it's that reminder for the rest of its time that it spends with you. And an awkward explanation to whoever you sell it to. But no longer they're made. I wonder if, because they've done the classic series of the BeoLab 5s a long time ago, didn't they? From what I remember.
I'm blanking at the moment.
Or it was just the chat and a rumor, because they did that huge deal to trade in your Lab 5s for the 50s back in 2-3 years ago and never materialized.
I mean, maybe they're still working
to
on
harvest
something.
The chassis.
Yeah, because they needed those.
Yeah, I think they may have harvested the chassis just for they have, so they can supplement the repairs
and parts
still.
And whatever else.
So yeah, that's where I'm thinking.
I remember a question from earlier from Matthias. If you were to start from scratch, what would you do with modern stuff? But secondhand is allowed. Budget is either 15 grand, 25 grand, or 50 grand. Just wondering what you would consider. If it's 50 grand, you cover all your bases, right? Get a secondhand pair of 50s, get a theater, new or secondhand, and get, I don't know, 8s for the rear or 17s.
Yeah.
And that covers everything from music to film to whatever you want. And if there's budget, if you find it for less than 50, probably, right, add some more, because you can never go wrong.
No, I would start with the theater for sure. At this point of time, the theater is absolute no-brainer. Like, yes, you probably bleed a little more for the VESA mount if, like, in my scenario where I don't have a wall to really put it on and such. But and I've always was a big fan of motorized floor stand. I've always had a motorized floor stand TV since I could afford B&O. Well, BeoVision 9 when I first bought it didn't even have an option. It was just a motorized fucking floor stand. That's it. But yes, I would start with the theater, and I would probably buy like 2 pairs of secondhand 18s and a 19 sub, and then that would be a reasonable start to the collection. That would be probably like a 25K budget. right, with the new screen and so on and so forth.
I mean, if you're in Europe, right, you can find a theater secondhand or ex demo on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the secondhand bit kind of throws a wrench in it. I mean, similarly, if you already have an established relationship with a dealer, even if you're starting over, right, like they may have some refurbished fives, and in Europe, they really are so much cheaper than here. Like it's not funny. Like fives in the US generally are just, I don't know, 10 grand more than in Europe for some reason.
Because there's so little of them here.
Yeah. I mean,
there's still a great speaker.
A while ago, somebody with 12 threes on eBay, they wanted to sell them for essentially new price. Right? And they haven't been made for like a decade.
And they probably sold.
Yeah.
So money talks and bullshit walks, really, in the world of B&O on the North American side. Yeah, there's not much of it here. And if there is, and if you want it, you pay it because you don't have a choice. There's maybe 1 or 2 listings of something like that.
I mean, if you were to start clean, right, with any of the budgets, I would probably try and squeeze out a theater regardless.
Yes, then, I think theater is the most important building block.
I mean, even the premieres here now, right? Like, but still, I would probably just the theater gives you so many more options, even in the second-hand range, because it has every connection, right? It doesn't really matter. And it's easier to upgrade along the way on your speakers because your main driver is probably the most important thing. I mean, if you just want an audio room, right, you can get 50s in a BeoConnect Core.
And that's that.
I mean, you can even attach a screen to it if you really wanted to, and then it serves as TV / like fantastic stereo from a TV, right, and or your music.
That's it. Or just buy a picture of a New York skyline from IKEA and stare at that while you have your lights off, dim, and crank in the 50s.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, like as long as you have, I would say, a theater and a 19, whatever else you put around it, it almost doesn't matter. Like you can go theater with a 19 and 8 theater and a 19 and 18s theater and 19 and 17s, right? It
doesn't really matter, yeah.
Yeah, because of the 19, you more or less end up with the same. It's just the type of pretty and looks you want.
Yes.
And then
if I were to start from scratch, I would probably do the 2 pairs of 8s, if not 3 pairs of 8s and a theater 77. Get a big fuck off screen this time around, maybe.
I mean, if the budget is tighter, go with 17s if you have a 19. Even though with 17s it's a bit little or a bit less important because they do more bass than most, but
yes.
But a 19 is nice to have. I would even say that if you have 28s,
aren't you selling your 19 still?
Oh yeah, if somebody wants to buy it. I mean, let me send me an email if you want to BeoLab 19. I'm not in a hurry to sell it, but I don't foresee myself really using it much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in
even if you decide to get a premiere for your guest bedroom or your bedroom, like you can't really use it anyways because it doesn't.
Correct.
It's a WISA, so yeah, you're screwed. Unless you recycle your core, if the software allows for it, and have a BeoConnect core as a receiver for DPL and juice it off of that.
Yeah, if somebody's looking for a moment, the moment I mean, especially since they're putting the 8 here, right? Like everything's internal. Like, yes, I can connect a moment to it, but like, why?
For what?
Yeah. I mean,
plus the speakers are going to be other. Yeah, they're going to be as other because there is no software package for them in the.
Yeah.
It's like they never put a 90s on the BeoCell moment. It's a shame.
So if somebody's looking for any, again, I'm not in a dire strait or anything like that. So like, if nobody feels like it, I'll happily hang on to it. Right? Like, I'm a collector at the end of the day.
He's selling it more or less because he's feeling bad for it that it's not being used.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that you need to sell it.
No.
It's more out of love for the B&O that we get rid of our stuff.
Yeah.
To buy more.
I also don't necessarily want top dollar for it. Like, reasonable is good enough. So, like, I'm not looking for American prices necessarily.
I should trade you those lab ones and some $100 and whatever. I'll trade you that in a pistol. It's fucking like a real American trade. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you need another moment.
I don't want another moment. I have mine.
I mean, my moment has been perfect from the time I got it, which really surprises me.
Yeah, the only thing that I've done over the years that I've had it, because mine is 10 years old now, I've changed the battery in it.
Yeah.
Which, normal going, but that's where your display starts to look a little ripply and stuff because the battery's swollen up. But yeah, I swapped the battery in it. It's happy ever since. Like I said, it doesn't do much of the light play and light stop commands go through it to the gateway.
I mean,
BLI, I guess nowadays the term. You gotta start using the BLI term.
I kind of bought the moment because I wanted to experience some of the pain, right? And then on mine, for some reason, there kind of is none other than that ring doesn't work. But like, everybody has that.
Yeah, everybody has that. You can't fix that.
Tune in and Deezer and everything else works fine. Like, it just works. It's like, I feel cheated by all of you complaining about this thing. It just works.
I feel like it breaks the firmware if the battery is dead for a while. I don't know, DJ Neo. I've had mine in a storage for 2 years before I've unpacked it here in this apartment.
Yeah, but you probably put it in storage mode, didn't you?
Of course.
Yeah, not everybody remembers that.
No, I put it in a battery storage mode, and that's it. You just hard power shut off, right? And yeah, I took it out, plug it in. Took a while for the battery to charge back up, but I could care less because the function and purpose that's supposed to serve is not to be a handheld control device no more.
Yeah. Bill asks, is a BeoLab 19 a good complement to the theater? I haven't heard many talk about it. I have a theater with 28s and 8s. Would a 19 add much for movies? I would say so.
Yes. If you are able to borrow one from your dealer, I would take it and add it to the back of the theater room. Don't put it at the front. It's useless.
Yes.
There's enough juice coming out of the 28s that I'm assuming they're fronts plus the theater. So if you put it to the back, that guitar strength theory really comes to play. And I've had a BeoLab 11, which is very, very underpowered subwoofer. It's probably the weakest sub that B&O has ever produced. And I've had it on my in my studio apartment. I've had it directly behind the couch on a Y-set receiver connected to the theater, and it rounded off the bass noticeably. I'm not saying that, like it was pushing the fucking windows off the seals, but it gave that nice balance. There's no, if you go further to the back of the room, that there's more boomy than what it was where you sit and you want that boomy there. It just evened it out. Quite honestly, it evened it out perfectly. So if I were to advise or suggest a subwoofer for the theater, I would always consider it mounting it in a rear subwoofer application.
I mean, you're talking now about the 11, but the 19 is significantly more powerful. The 19 puts out
different
higher peak performance than even a set of 28s does, and it goes lower, right? Like the 28s kind of fall on their ass below 28 hertz.
Yeah,
a 19 will happily go to 19 hertz. And it sounds like a silly little bit, right? Like we're talking about
it's a lot of difference
hertz, but I think you actually make your 28s sing more when that crossover, when the the 28s are less stressed when you take that bottom end burden out of them.
That's it.
Another thing, if you run it through your theater, right, like not on its own, your total maximum output will also go a lot higher before you hit ABL.
Yes. Absolutely. Play with the redirection levels a little bit, but yeah, I would, if you have a dealer nearby, Bill, I would go and explore that idea of just having it, it's a puppy dog theory. Take it home for a week, and I'm sure you're going to give them your card afterwards.
Yeah, and you can play a bit where you manually put the crossover, right? Like for
Yes.
that sort of setup, I would say set it 70 hertz or so. Because the way the logic in the theater works, then most, if not all of it, and especially above the capabilities of either 8 or 28 will be redirected to the 19. And the 19 will happily sit on a consistent output of like 90-ish dB, if not 100.
Yeah.
It's
19 is a good sub, man.
It's not as shake your windows as a BeoLab 2, but it's a very controlled sub. And it's nice.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
It's very accurate. But also the Lab 2, that, that big driver was basically just throwing down, sitting on this rubber donut. So all the vibration was going through the floor, especially on the wood floor based residences, where this one is acoustic balance. Right.
Yeah, it also,
so
the front one especially pushes it way more into the room.
Yes. No, I cannot say enough about, I have a 19 in my bedroom, for God's sakes, with the Avant. And it helps a lot, man. It helps a lot.
I mean, is it the question of like, is it needed? That's so personal. Like, it does add something, and it adds quite a bit, right? But is it needed? Is a question for you. And then secondly, do you want to pay for it? I can't answer that.
Yeah.
I mean, since you like spreadsheets, right? You probably end up.
You already made your calculations, brother. But if you're looking for confirmation, I'm giving you one. Get it. I think you won't regret it. Sound like Dr. Zeus here, for God's sakes. But yeah, I would strongly consider a BeoLab 19 into the mix. Get them before they go, because it's probably the last dumb subwoofer that B&O has ever made, if they're gonna continue the path of making subwoofers even. So
Max says, might have a BeoLab 2 for the 28s. Do you have a crossover frequency recommendation there? Is the BeoLab 2 even necessary for a small room? Necessary is up to you, right? Like, how much of it do you want to feel? You can obviously, because the settings are so wide, right? You can make it from like, I feel a little shake, to like fucking everything is rattling. And
yeah,
that is kind of preference.
I would hover with the slider on the crossover. I would hover between 80 and 90 dBs. I mean, hertz, sorry, the crossover. The lower you go, the more the other ones work. But Lab 2 can handle some shit. I've never seen a dead Lab 2. Well, I'm lying. I've seen one since 2002 that they came out. So in 24 years that they've been around, I had seen one faulty. And one that got lost in the floods. But that's, of course, fucking floods, right?
I mean, if you put like a 19 through a graphic equalizer or measure it, right, you sort of have like sort of 10 hertz, it goes to like 18, 19, and then it's flat all the way to 200, and then it drops off. With a BeoLab 2, you sort of have at 10 hertz, then you sort of come to 20, you have a little dip, then you have 30, 40, and then you have a little dip, and it's much more of a wave. And the BeoLab 2 really like really noticeably pushes way more between 36 hertz and 80 hertz.
Yes.
I
But it's
mean,
also messy. It's messy because of the passive radiators. It's messy. It's not as clean as the 19 will ever be. No way.
I mean, it does 20 hertz, right? But it's at like -3 or 5 dB from memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then it dips a bit. And then, I mean, the reference, if you look at the reference, like the sort of 35 to 80 is like +3 compared to where the zero line is.
Mm-hmm. Bill, if you're gonna go visit your dealer and you get it at home, obviously it's gonna be a shit show because you got to retune your theater and blah blah blah, which is understandable. But just double check the bass redirection level on the 19 and just put it to 0, because sometimes for some reason the theater likes to push the bass redirection level lower into the negatives on the subwoofer as well. I don't know what part of that algorithmic calculation makes sense in that fashion, but I always put it to 0, because if that's the point, in my opinion, that's the point of the subwoofer, so you don't have to cross anything over from it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think what it's trying to do is make everything equal. Like where the sort of whole system output is essentially equal from everywhere. But I don't think that's necessarily the best result.
I don't think it's logical if you have a subwoofer. I think subwoofers should have a 0 redirection level.
Yes. I mean, with the 50s, it still tries to redirect, right?
So did it with my 90s, man. It went out 4 dB.
Yeah. It's like, why are you taking it away from here? Like, it makes no sense. So I just set it to 0. Like, stop it.
Fuck, when I tuned I had the emerges on the DPL, and I did the tune. It brought down the 90s by 12 dBs. And I had the emerges assigned as rear heights, so like completely like irrelevant channels per se. But yeah, it's no bueno. That's not the way to do it.
I mean, in terms of BeoLab 2, it's such a fun subwoofer, right? Like, especially for films. I wouldn't necessarily use it with 28s and music, other than if you like into dubstep or that sort of thing, or electronic music, right? But for films, like, the punch it gives is very entertaining.
The Lab 2?
Yeah. It's not necessarily accurate, but it's entertaining.
No, it's a movie sub. In my opinion, it's a very movie sub compared to, like more active listening based sessions that you would have with the 19. But yeah, Lab 2, like when shit blows up, it fucking feels like it.
Yes.
In the house. That's the point of it, where you can rest a full wine glass on the 19 and it won't disrupt it, but it's woofing hard. So there is the difference between them, just like the 5s push to the wall, to the floors, and you feel that bass more as well in your pants and so on, where the 90s are a little different. So it's the 50s.
If you're very manic about like warranty and that sort of thing, you can buy a 19 new, but 19s are also so rock solid, and there's so many around, especially in Europe. Like, they don't really go wrong.
If there's something wrong with them, it's usually out of the box because they had a bad batch of boards a while back.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a very solid sub. I've seen one in, I guess, 12 years that's been in production for service. So not much, man. Not much went down. And the nice thing is that the ASC or the DSC or digital sound engine is exactly the same board that is in the 17s, 18, and the 19. So serviceability is easy or easier, but not necessary. I haven't had anything that that went fatally wrong with. We had one subwoofer that we literally had to exchange because it was just unfixable, man. We swapped all the boards. I don't know where the fuck the gremlin was sleeping in that, but we never found it. So that was an exchange. But one in 12 years is not a bad track record, man.
No. Unless you start, I don't know, replugging in cables when stuff is on, right, and it's in a listening position.
And
There's no
pop in it,
reason.
and
Yeah,
but don't be silly.
yeah. Just don't be stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, stupid fucking punishes usually. So you don't want to be doing that. BeoLab 9's won. Jesus Christ. I was on the helping side of the BeoLab 20 because I know Kareem is probably watching, and that's the beloved speaker is the 20. And it shows because Quebecson sold so many of them. Usually when you go on service calls, that you can expect that, 40% of the time when there's a speaker in the house, it's a BeoLab 20, or at least one pair at least in the house. I like them. I think that was those speakers were the first catalyst of colors that came out with the grills, because back then B&O had like 5 colors, which was the silver, blue, red, gold, and black.
Yeah, well,
And
the
then
red was burgundy.
No, but then they made a real red, like more or less like almost Ferrari red. I remember we have one client in Calgary. They bought the red 8000s, and they came for service one day when I was still working at the B&O and the store was opened. They look so good, bro. And I didn't even know I liked red color back then. Fuck's sakes.
I mean, when I think of B&O red, right, like you think of the BeoLab 1 and BeoLab 4000s in red.
Oh, no, that's burgundy. That's awful. That was probably the most awful color that they have made.
I mean, it kind of made sense at the time period, right? Because people use that color more often back then. But it dates it so hard.
Oh Christ! It's just like the BeoLab 90 with that purpley pink edition thing that they've done, right? That thing's that's already looks dated, and it hasn't even really probably been in nobody's home yet. I just don't understand what kind of an artwork you would really put around it, unless you hire Mia Ando, if she's still around, to make you an aluminum sheet within these colors and anodizing to match. But I'm not a fan of it at all, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
let's see, where does this go? BeoLab Penta versus BeoLab Ones. Who wins that according to you guys?
I think the ones win. To my disappointment, it's not true.
What do you mean?
BeoLab ones should win. They're way nicer than the Pentas. Oh, now that the Olympics are around, did you see that French guy skier that got the gate in the balls?
Yes.
Wow.
I wish I hadn't.
That I've seen that video. It hurt me just to look at it, for God's sakes. But that's the worst way to get self-disqualified, I guess. And there's no man on this planet that would be able to continue this. Like, there's no way.
The thing is, it was so hard that I feared like there's like permanent damage potentially there.
Oh, I'm sure he tore something.
Well, you can actually pop them, and there's no way. And there's no way of fixing that.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I can't even imagine the pain. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
That's Olympics for you. People go hard and heavy, and sometimes you just miscalculate by a little bit. And
I mean, one of the few times you have to pray in life, right? Even for a guy you don't know, because otherwise this may very well seem like an accidental self-castration.
Pretty much. But yeah, that's a very hard hit in the pills, man. Jesus. Feels bad. Feels bad.
I mean, everybody's super interested in curling because the Canadians keep on cheating.
Canadians are cheating now? How did they do that?
Yeah. Oh, so when you apparently, I don't know curling, right? But I see it all over the place now. Because apparently when you do the slidey thing, right? When you let it go, you can't touch it anymore. But the Canadians go and touch it again because apparently they feel like it's just not enough. So they touch it again so narrowly. And the Swedes set them up to be caught on camera. Because the Swedes apparently in the last World Cup curling saw the Canadians doing this cheating the whole time, right? And the refs wouldn't do anything about it. So they told their national broadcaster to stand at an odd angle so they would catch the cheating.
And they caught them cheating?
Yeah, and it's both the male and female teams doing the cheating. And it seems to be one of the only countries that does it this way.
Weird.
So curling and cheating. Curling got excited.
Out of all of that, the curling is the GOAT now. That's funny.
And it's like the Swedish thing. Hey, I see you cheat.
Oh yeah.
And then the Canadian, hey buddy, I didn't cheat. Fuck off. But you cheated.
That's so funny. I didn't know that they're cheating. I'm not following the Olympics. I just saw that reel of the French guy get hit in the pills, and I just figured, oh, never would I have thought that injury like that would end your race. But yeah, that definitely wouldn't feel good at all. I'm sure all the boys here can relate.
Pray for another man's nads.
That's it. But yeah, other than that, not much in for the week. I am, I guess in 10 days, going to be most likely going to Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, don't want to go. 30 days.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, at least not so roasting at the moment.
Well, yeah, that's the benefit of it, that it's not bad. I hope that if I'm gonna go for a month, I hope that it's like a fucking apocalyptic storm every week over here while I'm out. But yeah, it's just, it is what it is. It's more as like a work camp, kind of honestly. Like it's a bullshit in the gold wrap, because Bahamas sound cool, right? But if you do 9 to 5 and you get home, it's not much to do. Like we're in the rich part of the island resort, right, where we have our living quarters. So to do anything cool, which I don't know what you would consider cool, and then going downtown and mingle with all the fucking drop-offs from the cruise ferries or whatever, the cruise ships, there's not much to do there, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really lay on a beach because it's dark in like an hour and a bit after you're done working.
Exactly. Plus, now there's really limited access to the public beaches because all the properties are being developed around the island, right? So, and they kind of just neglect to put pathways, because apparently beach is a public space, but not. So
people that live on the beach here in Florida try to do the same thing, right? Like my house is there, it's public beach, but then they put like spikes and stuff, fully illegal, right? But like if anybody ever gets a fine, like I already live on the beach, I have fuck you money, so I'll just pay the fine.
Yeah. So yeah, and then like going to the beach every day, it just gets old, right? What am I, a freaking hippie?
Yeah, I mean, people ask me like, why don't you want to live on the beach? Well, first of all, hurricanes and stuff, but secondly, more on the day-to-day basis, like all that sand and like, what am I meant to do?
Salt and grist that you gather, like even working in Bahamas, like you go outside, like it was August, it was hot as fuck, but you go outside and you can smell the salt in the air. Like that's not good for anything that is outside and metal.
Especially not good for your B&O.
Not for the aluminium, no.
I mean, if it was grounded and stuff, like I think Guy just posted that on the Discord, right? Where like, I can probably find the picture. Here.
Do it.
It's a BeoLab 17.
Shazam! That's salt.
Yes.
No?
Well, it's aluminium crystal, or it's probably salty air, right? And this is not a grounded speaker, and it's on all the time.
Shit.
I've only ever seen this on 8000s on the coast, funnily enough, in Australia.
I've seen that on the BeoSound 4-foot. Just completely eating the fuck out of the aluminium.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's what you're coming up against.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me like, why don't you want to live on the beach? Well, first of all, hurricanes and stuff. But secondly, more on the day-to-day basis, like I think Guy just posted that on the Discord, right? Where like, if it was grounded and stuff, like I think mean, I don't know if he's on the beach, but I think he is in an island nation, right? So like salty air is definitely not far away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and this is not a grounded speaker, so like there is a loop forming with the salt and whatnot.
As you can see.
I mean, our buddy Eric in Australia has fixed many a 8000 because of being near the coast, right?
The salt ingress, yeah.
Yeah, and it was always near the that flap on the back where you put the plugs in.
Yes.
And occasionally you see like the electrical line like in the thing in the aluminium just forming over time.
It's so bizarre, hey, how that happens. But that's just, I guess, chemistry, physics, and life and time.
Yeah.
Which we're out of for today.
All right. We'll be probably back next week if you're not in the Bahamas.
I'm flying out 25, so that's Wednesday. No, I'll be back. Like, we're gonna continue the show as normal. I'll take my laptop with me. We'll do it like I did before. At least I get to smoke cigars and drink bourbon while we do it.
Yeah, that's fine. But just in case you were flying over the weekend or something, right?
No. It's gonna be during the week, and I don't know if the date is solid yet because I have to go get my passport renewed. Because apparently, even though it's valid, it's invalid because it expires 6 months. I guess you can't travel 6 months before your passport expires in Canada. So go figure. So why do you even put that fucking expiry date on it then? But you know what? I'm not gonna here to question that, but it is what it is. Hopefully, pray for me all that the lineup for the passport office tomorrow is not gonna be long because I'm doing it tomorrow. And yeah, once I get the passport, I'll get my wings on and flying to Bahamas.
Thou shalt not question the government.
Word.
Anyway, have a good week, everybody. Love you.
Bye.
Long time. Stay
Thanks
safe
for watching. Bye.